Jake Martinez woke up to a strange sound in his room. He opened his eyes and looked at the clock on his wall. It was 3 in the morning. The space station was always quiet at this time. Most people were sleeping in their beds. Jake rubbed his eyes and sat up. He thought maybe he was dreaming. But then he heard the sound again. It was like someone breathing, but different. The breathing was too slow and too deep for a human. He turned on the small light next to his bed. What he saw made him freeze with shock. A tall woman was standing near his door. But she was not human. Her skin was blue and seemed to glow in the dark. She was much taller than any human Jake had ever seen. Her arms were long and thin. Her eyes were large and silver. The alien woman was covered in something that looked like liquid metal. It moved slowly across her skin like thick paint. She looked very uncomfortable. Her silver eyes showed pain and worry. Jake's heart was beating fast. He had worked on the space station for 3 years. He had heard stories about aliens, but he had never seen one. The station was far from Earth, doing research work. Sometimes ships from other worlds passed by, but they never stopped. The alien woman saw that Jake was awake. She moved closer to his bed. Jake wanted to run, but there was nowhere to go. She was blocking the door, then she spoke. Her voice came through a small device on her neck. The words were in English, but they sounded strange. "Please do not be afraid, human," she said. "I need your help. I am sorry to come to your room like this." Jake's mouth was dry. He tried to speak, but no words came out. The alien woman waited patiently. Who are you?" Jake finally asked. "My name is Zara. I am from the planet Valen. My ship is near your station. I have a big problem, and I need human help." Jake looked at the strange substance on her skin. It was moving and changing colors. Sometimes it was silver, sometimes blue, sometimes green. "What is that stuff on you?" he asked. Zara looked down at her arms and body. "It is protection skin. We use it when we travel in space. But something went wrong. It will not come off. It is making me very sick." Jake got out of bed slowly. He was wearing his work clothes because he often had to fix things at night. "Why did you come to me?" "I'm just a maintenance worker." Zara's large eyes looked at him carefully. "I studied humans before coming here. You are good at fixing things. You use your hands and your mind together. My people have machines that do everything. But our machines are broken." Jake was starting to understand. "You want me to help clean this stuff off you?" "Yes, please. I tried everything on my ship. Nothing works. The substance has become hard like stone. My cleaning machines cannot remove it. But humans are different. You find ways to solve problems without machines." Jake walked closer to Zara. The substance on her skin looked thick and sticky. In some places, it had become hard like rock. He could see that it was pulling at her skin and causing pain. "How did you know about me?" Jake asked. "We have been watching humans for many years. We know you are clever. You make simple things work better than complex machines. My government sent me here for important meetings. I must be clean for the ceremony tomorrow." Jake thought about this. If aliens were planning to meet with humans, this was huge news. But right now, this alien needed help. "What happens if we can't get it off?" he asked. Zara's eyes became sadder. "I will become very sick. The substance will go inside my body. I might die. Also, the meeting between our peoples will fail. This is very important for both worlds." Jake felt sorry for her. She seemed frightened and in pain. He had always been good at helping people solve problems. This was just a bigger problem than usual. "Okay, I'll try to help you," he said. "But I need to know more about this stuff." "What is it made of?" Zara seemed relieved. "It is biosynthetic material. We grow it in labs. It protects us from space radiation and cold. Usually our machines dissolve it with sound waves. But something went wrong during my trip." Jake looked around his small room. He had basic cleaning supplies and some tools. Nothing fancy, just simple human things. "Let me get some supplies," he said. "We can try different methods. Sometimes the old ways work better than new technology." Zara watched him gather soap, water, and soft cloths. "You really think these simple things can help?" Jake smiled for the first time since waking up. "You'd be surprised what humans can do with basic tools and a little creativity. My grandmother always said that sometimes the best solution is the simplest one." He filled a small bowl with warm water and added soap. "Let's start with the basics and see what happens." Zara stood very still as Jake began to work. Neither of them knew that this moment would change the relationship between humans and aliens forever. Jake dipped the soft cloth in the soapy water. He looked at Zara's arm where the strange substance was thickest. It looked like metal paint that had dried and cracked. "This might feel strange, Vinwine," he said. "Tell me if it hurts." He gently touched the cloth to her arm. The substance was hard, but the warm water seemed to soften it a little. Zara watched with surprise as small pieces began to flake off. "How is this possible?" she asked. "My ship has machines that use sound waves and special chemicals." Nothing worked. Jake continued to work on her arm. "Sometimes simple things work better than complicated ones. My dad taught me that when I was a kid. He was a mechanic. The soap and water were helping, but the process was very slow." Jake could see that there were many layers of the substance on Zara's skin. Some parts were softer, but other parts were like stone. "Tell me more about this protection skin," Jake said as he worked. "How long have you been wearing it?" "I put it on when I left my planet 5 days ago. The trip here took longer than expected. The substance was supposed to dissolve after 3 days." Jake nodded. "So it's been getting harder and thicker, like when paint dries and becomes difficult to remove." He tried a different approach. Instead of just wiping, he held the warm, wet cloth against the hard areas for a longer time. This seemed to work better. The substance started to soften and come off in bigger pieces. Zara was amazed. "Your species is very interesting. You use such simple methods, but they work." "We've had to be creative," Jake said. "Humans don't have the best technology in the universe, so we learn to solve problems with what we have." Jake worked on Zara's arm for an hour. Slowly, patches of her blue skin began to show through. Her skin was smooth and seemed to glow with its own light. "How does it feel?" he asked. "Much better. The pain is going away where you cleaned." Zara moved her arm carefully. "This is the first relief I've had in 2 days." Jake was tired, but he felt good about helping. "We still have a lot more work to do. This is going to take time." "I have time," Zara said. "My meeting is not until tomorrow evening. But I am curious about something." "What's that?" "Why are you helping me? You could have screamed and called for security. You could have been afraid." Jake thought about this as he prepared fresh soapy water. "I guess I was raised to help people when they need it. My mom always said that kindness is the most important thing humans have." Zara was quiet for a moment. "My people have studied humans for many years. We know you are not the strongest species. You do not have the best technology, but you have something that we find very interesting." "What's that?" "You never give up. When you have a problem, you keep trying different things until something works. Most species either solve a problem quickly with their technology or they give up." Jake started working on her other arm. "I never thought about it that way. For us, that's just normal. It is not normal for most species. My people created amazing machines to solve every problem, but when the machines break, we do not know what to do." Jake found this hard to believe. "But you can travel between stars. You must be much smarter than us. We are good at building complex things, but you are good at adapting and finding new ways to solve problems. That is a different kind of intelligence." As Jake continued cleaning, they talked more. Zara told him about her planet. Her people lived in beautiful crystal cities. They had machines that could create anything they needed. Disease and hunger did not exist on her world. "It sounds like paradise," Jake said. "In many ways it is. But we have lost something important. We have forgotten how to work with our hands. We have forgotten how to solve problems without machines." Jake was making good progress on her arms. The substance was coming off easier now that he understood how it worked. "Is that why you came to Earth?" "Partly, yes. My government wants to make an alliance with humans. We need your problem-solving skills. There are many challenges in our galaxy that cannot be solved with just technology." Jake was surprised. "You want to make an alliance with us? But we're so primitive compared to you." Zara looked at him seriously. "You are not primitive. You are different. There are problems in space that need human thinking. Pirates who use simple weapons that our complex defenses cannot stop. Machines that break in unexpected ways. Situations where quick thinking is more important than advanced technology." Jake had never thought that humans might be useful to advanced aliens. "What kind of problems?" "For example, there is a trade route that pirates attack regularly. They use old simple ships that do not show up on our sensors. Our military cannot catch them because they think in complex ways. But humans might find the simple solution." Jake was fascinated. "And that's why you're here?" "I am here to propose that humans become problem solvers for the Galactic Council. Many species have problems that could benefit from human thinking. Jake worked on her shoulder and neck area. The substance here was thinner and came off more easily. Do you think other humans would be interested? I believe so. Humans seem to enjoy challenges, and this would help your species learn about the galaxy and gain new technology. As dawn approached, Jake had cleaned about half of the substance from Zara's upper body. Both of them were tired, but Zara looked much better. Her skin was brighter and she moved more easily. You have done something amazing, Zara said. My own people could not help me, but you found a way. Jake smiled. We're not finished yet, but I think we can get all of this off before your meeting. I hope so. This meeting is very important for both our species. Jake looked at the pile of substance pieces on the floor. What will happen at the meeting? I will present the idea of working together. If your leaders agree, this could be the beginning of a new era for humanity. Jake realized that this strange night had become something much bigger than just helping one alien. He was part of something that could change human history forever. Jake took a short break to rest his hands. He had been working for 3 hours, and his fingers were getting tired. Zara looked much better now. Most of the substance was gone from her arms and shoulders. You should rest, Zara said. I do not want you to hurt yourself helping me. I'm okay, Jake said. But I'm curious about something. You said your people have machines for everything. Don't you ever do things with your hands? Zara thought about this. Not really. When we are children, we learn to use our minds to control machines. We think of what we want and machines make it happen. We stopped using our hands for work thousands of years ago. Jake found this strange, but don't you miss it? Working with your hands, I mean. There's something satisfying about fixing something yourself. I never thought about it before, but watching you work, there is something beautiful about it. You touch the problem directly. You feel what needs to be done. Jake started working on her back. This was harder because he couldn't see what he was doing as well. Can you help me? Tell me where it feels thick or thin. Zara guided him to the areas that needed the most work. There on my left shoulder blade. It is very thick there. As Jake worked, Zara asked him questions about human life. What do you do when you are not working? I like to build things. I have a workshop where I make furniture and fix broken items for other people on the station. It's relaxing. You work and then you do more work for relaxation. Jake laughed. I guess it sounds strange when you put it that way. But there's a difference between working for someone else and creating something for yourself. Explain this to me. Jake thought about how to explain it simply. When I fix the station's machines, I'm following procedures. I do what the manual tells me to do. But when I'm in my workshop, I can try new ideas. I can make mistakes and learn from them. Zara was quiet for a moment. My people do not make mistakes anymore. Our machines are perfect, but don't you learn from mistakes? We used to. Long ago, my ancestors made many mistakes and learned from them. That is how we became advanced. But now we rely on the wisdom of the past. We do not try new things very often. Jake was making good progress on her back. The substance was coming off in long strips now. That sounds boring. It is safe, Zara said. But yes, it can be boring. Is that another reason why your people are interested in humans? Because we still make mistakes and try new things? Yes, humans are still growing and changing. Most species in the galaxy have stopped changing. They have found good ways to live and they do not want to risk losing what they have. Jake started working on her legs. This was the hardest part because the substance was thickest here. How many species are in the galaxy? Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Most are very old and set in their ways. Humans are young and still exploring possibilities. Do they all know about humans? The important ones do. We have been watching your species for about 50 years. You fascinate many of us. Jake had to use a small brush to work on the thicker areas. What fascinates you about us? You never stop trying. Other species give up when problems become difficult. But humans keep trying different approaches until something works. I think that's because we don't have much choice. We've always had to struggle to survive. Exactly. Struggle makes you creative. Most species solved their survival problems long ago. They became comfortable and stopped struggling. Jake worked carefully around Zara's knees. The substance here was like thick rubber. Do you think that's bad? Not bad, but limiting. When you stop struggling, you stop growing. When you stop growing, you become weak in new ways. What do you mean? Zara explained. My people can build amazing cities and travel between stars. But if our machines break, we are helpless. We have become too dependent on our technology. Jake understood this. Like if someone always uses a calculator, they forget how to do math in their head. Yes, exactly like that. As Jake continued working, Zara told him more about the problems different species faced. There were ancient races that had become so dependent on their technology that they couldn't adapt to new situations. There were young species that had advanced too quickly and lost their problem-solving abilities. Humans seem to have found a balance, Zara said. You use technology, but you also keep your basic skills. I never thought of it that way. Most humans think we're behind everyone else. In some ways you are, but in other ways you are ahead. You still have the ability to adapt and change. That is very rare. Jake was almost finished with her legs. Only her feet remained, and they didn't have much of the substance on them. What will happen if your leaders and our leaders decide to work together? Humans would be invited to join the Galactic Council as advisors. You would help solve problems that other species cannot handle. In return, we would share some of our technology and knowledge. What kind of problems? Many kinds. There are trade disputes that need creative solutions. There are technical problems that require hands-on work. There are situations where quick thinking is more important than advanced planning. Jake finished cleaning her feet and stepped back to look at his work. Zara's blue skin was clean and glowing. She looked completely different from the desperate alien who had entered his room hours ago. How do you feel? He asked. Zara moved her arms and legs, testing her range of motion. Perfect. The pain is completely gone. You have done something that our best medical machines could not do. Jake felt proud of his work. It wasn't that hard once I figured out the right approach. That is exactly what I mean about humans. You say it was not hard, but my people tried for days to solve this problem. Zara looked at herself in the small mirror on Jake's wall. I look like myself again. Thank you, Jake Martinez. You have saved my life and possibly the future of human-alien relations. Jake realized that the sun was starting to rise outside the station windows. Your meeting is today? Tonight. But first I must return to my ship and prepare. Would you like to see it? Jake's eyes widened with excitement. You mean, go aboard an alien spaceship? Yes. I think it would be good for you to see what we can offer humanity. And I would like my crew to meet the human who solved our impossible problem. Jake looked around his small room. A few hours ago, his biggest worry was fixing a broken air recycler. Now he was being invited aboard an alien ship as part of first contact between species. I'd love to see your ship, he said. But won't I get in trouble for leaving the station? Zara smiled, which looked strange but friendly on her alien features. I think your supervisors will understand when they learn what you have accomplished tonight. Jake followed Zara through the corridors of the space station. It was early morning and most people were still asleep. They walked to the docking bay where Zara's ship was connected to the station. The ship was beautiful but strange. It looked like it was made of living crystal that glowed with soft blue light. It was much smaller than Jake had expected. This is just a transport ship, Zara explained. The main fleet is waiting further away. They entered the ship through an opening that appeared in the wall as they approached. Inside, everything was smooth and curved. There were no sharp edges or straight lines anywhere. Your ship is alive? Jake asked, touching the warm walls. Not exactly alive, but it responds to our thoughts and needs. We grow our ships rather than build them. Jake was amazed. The ship seemed to sense his presence and provided a chair that rose from the floor when he looked tired. This is incredible, he said. Zara looked sad. It was incredible. But now our ships are sick. What do you mean? Zara touched a panel on the wall. The room filled with soft light and Jake could see images floating in the air. The images showed other ships like this one, but they looked wrong. Their glow was dim, and some had dark patches. The same malfunction that affected my protection skin is affecting our ships. The biosynthetic materials are breaking down. Our ships are slowly dying. Jake studied the images. Is this happening to all your ships? Most of them. It started a few weeks ago. Our engineers cannot find the cause. They have tried everything, but nothing works. Jake walked around the room, looking at the walls and ceiling. Can I touch things? Will it hurt the ship? Go ahead. The ship will not be harmed. Jake ran his hands along the walls. In some places, the surface felt smooth and warm. In other places, it felt rough and cold. I think I can feel the problem areas. Zara was surprised. Our instruments can detect the sick areas, but they cannot fix them. Maybe that's the problem. You're trying to fix them with instruments instead of direct contact. Jake continued exploring the ship. He found areas where the walls felt different. Some sections seemed to be getting harder, like the substance that had covered Zara. "This feels similar to what was on your skin," he said. "The biosynthetic material is crystallizing." "Yes, but how do we fix an entire ship? We cannot scrub the walls with soap and water." Jake thought about this. Maybe we can, but we'd need a lot of help. Zara contacted the main fleet. Soon, Jake was talking to other alien leaders through the ship's communication system. They were desperate for solutions. "Our entire fleet is affected," said an alien commander named Keth. "If we cannot fix our ships, we cannot return home. We will be stranded here." Jake felt the weight of responsibility. These aliens had come in peace, and now they needed human help to survive. "I need to bring in some of my colleagues," Jake said. "We'll need people who understand different types of cleaning and maintenance." Zara arranged for Jake to contact the station. He called his supervisor, a woman named Lisa Brown, and explained the situation. At first, she didn't believe him. "Jake, are you feeling okay? You're saying aliens are asking for our help. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm on their ship right now. They need human expertise." Within an hour, Jake had assembled a team of maintenance workers from the station. Lisa brought cleaning supplies and industrial equipment. Tony Garcia, who worked on the station's environmental systems, brought chemicals and solvents. Ben Park, who maintained the station's computers, brought diagnostic tools. When the team saw Zara and her ship, they were shocked into silence. "This is real," Lisa whispered. "We're actually meeting aliens." "They need our help," Jake said. "Their ships are breaking down and their technology can't fix the problem." The team spent the morning examining Zara's ship and learning about the problem. Jake showed them how he had cleaned Zara's skin, and they began to understand the challenge. "It's like the whole ship has a skin condition," Tony said. "The biosynthetic material is hardening and cutting off circulation." "Can we scale up Jake's cleaning method?" Lisa asked. Ben examined the ship's structure. "We'd need to work on this systematically. Clean one section at a time and see how the ship responds." They started with a small area near the entrance. Using warm water, mild soap, and soft brushes, they began to clean the ship's walls. At first, nothing seemed to happen. Then slowly the area they had cleaned began to glow brighter. "It's working," Zara said with excitement. "The ship feels better already." The team worked for hours, cleaning section after section. The ship responded to their care, becoming brighter and warmer. Areas that had been dark and cold came back to life. "This is amazing," Ben said. "We're healing a living ship with basic cleaning supplies." As they worked, more aliens came to watch. They couldn't believe that such simple methods were succeeding where their advanced technology had failed. "How did you know to do this?" asked an alien engineer. "We didn't know," Jake said. "We just tried what worked before and adapted it to the new situation." "But you had no training with our technology." Lisa spoke up. "We don't need training with your technology. We just need to understand the problem and find a solution." By afternoon, they had cleaned most of Zara's ship. The improvement was dramatic. The ship was glowing brightly and all its systems were working properly. "We need to take this solution to the main fleet," Zara said. "There are 50 ships that need help." Jake looked at his small team. "We're going to need more people." "How many humans would be willing to help?" Zara asked. Jake thought about the people he knew on the station. "All of them. When humans see a problem that needs solving, we don't give up until it's fixed." Lisa was already making plans. "We can organize teams with different specialties. Some people are good with delicate work, others are better with heavy cleaning." "We can work in shifts," Tony added. "Keep the cleaning going around the clock." Ben was taking notes on his tablet. "We should document our methods so other humans can learn them." Zara watched the humans plan and organize. "You work together very well." "We have to," Jake said. "Humans learned long ago that we can accomplish more together than alone." As the day progressed, more humans from the station volunteered to help. Soon there were teams working on multiple alien ships. The aliens watched in amazement as humans tackled their impossible problem with simple tools and determination. "This is how humans solve problems," Jake explained to a group of alien observers. "We don't wait for perfect solutions. We start working and figure things out as we go." By evening, half the alien fleet was operational again. The aliens were preparing for the diplomatic meeting with new hope and respect for human capabilities. Zara found Jake as he was taking a break. "You have done something incredible today. You have not just saved our ships. You have shown us a new way of thinking about problems. Jake was tired but happy. We still have more work to do. Yes, but now I know it will get done. Humans do not give up. As Jake looked out at the fleet of glowing alien ships, he realized that this was just the beginning. Humanity was about to take its place in a much larger universe. The diplomatic meeting was held in the main conference room of the space station. Jake had never seen so many important people in one place. The station commander, Admiral Carol West, sat at a large table with Earth's diplomatic team. Across from them sat Zara and 5 other aliens from different ships in the fleet. Jake and his maintenance team were given special seats near the front. They were still wearing their work clothes and had cleaning supplies stacked near their chairs. It felt strange to be in such an important meeting. Zara stood up to address both groups. She looked completely different from the desperate alien who had entered Jake's room just 2 days ago. Her blue skin glowed with health and she moved with confidence. Honored representatives of Earth and the Galactic Council, she began. I came here to propose an alliance between our peoples. I plan to offer you technology in exchange for your cooperation. But something unexpected happened. She gestured toward Jake and his team. These humans saved not just my life, but the lives of everyone in our fleet. They solved a problem that our most advanced scientists could not solve. They did it with simple tools and creative thinking. Admiral West looked surprised. What exactly did they do? Zara explained the situation with the biosynthetic material and how it had been affecting both her body and the alien ships. She described how Jake had used basic cleaning methods to fix the problem. Our ships were dying, Zara said. Our technology was useless. But these humans found a way to heal our ships using soap, water, and brushes. One of the Earth diplomats, a man named Robert Kim, looked skeptical. You're saying that aliens who can travel between stars couldn't solve a cleaning problem? Another alien, Commander Kath, stood up. We have become too dependent on complex solutions. When our advanced methods failed, we had no alternatives. But humans think differently. They try simple solutions first and build up to complex ones if needed. Jake felt nervous when Admiral West looked at him. Mr. Martinez, can you explain what you did? Jake stood up slowly. I just treated it like any other cleaning job, ma'am. I looked at the problem, figured out what might work, and tried it. When warm, soapy water worked a little, I kept using it. When that wasn't enough, I tried brushes and different techniques. But surely it was more complicated than that. Not really. The alien material was like paint that had dried too hard. The solution was to soften it and clean it off. It just took time and patience. Dr. Sarah Mills, the Earth Science Advisor, leaned forward. What our alien friends are describing sounds like human adaptability and problem-solving skills being valuable in ways we never imagined. Zara nodded. Exactly. Throughout the galaxy, most species solve problems one of 2 ways. Either they have technology that works or they give up. Humans are unusual because you keep trying different approaches, Commander Keith added. We have documented many situations where human-style thinking could be valuable. Pirates who use simple weapons that confuse advanced defense systems, technical problems that require hands-on solutions, resource shortages that need creative management. Admiral West looked thoughtful. And you're proposing that humans work with your alliance as problem solvers? More than that, Zara said. We want humans to become full members of the Galactic Council. Your skills are needed throughout our civilization. Jake listened as the diplomats discussed details. The aliens offered to share their medical technology, which could eliminate most human diseases. They offered transportation technology that would let humans travel to other worlds. They offered communication technology that would connect Earth to the galactic network. In return, they wanted humans to help solve problems throughout their territory. Some humans would work as troubleshooters for technical issues. Others would serve as advisors for complex situations. Still others would help train alien species in human-style problem-solving. What about Jake and his team? Zara asked. They should be the first human representatives to the council. Admiral West looked at Jake. Mr. Martinez, how would you feel about representing humanity to an alien alliance? Jake's heart was racing. I'm just a maintenance worker, ma'am. I don't know anything about diplomacy. That's exactly why you're perfect for this job, Zara said. You approach problems directly without worrying about politics or complicated protocols. That's what we need. Lisa Brown, Jake's supervisor, spoke up. Jake has always been our best problem solver. If anyone can represent human ingenuity, it's him. Over the next few hours, they worked out the details of the alliance. Earth would join the Galactic Council as a junior member. Humans would be given access to alien technology and knowledge. In return, humans would provide problem-solving services to other member species. Jake was appointed as the first human-alien technical liaison. His job would be to work with alien species on problems that required human-style solutions. Lisa, Tony, and Ben were appointed as his assistants. "There's one more thing," Zara said as the meeting was ending. "We would like Jake to come with us to the Galactic Council headquarters. There are representatives from many species who want to meet the human who saved our fleet." Jake looked at Admiral West, who nodded. "This is a great honor, Mr. Martinez. You'll be the first human to visit the galactic capital." A week later, Jake stood on the bridge of Zara's ship as they approached the galactic capital. It was a massive space station, larger than any city on Earth. Ships from dozens of different species docked at its ports. "Are you nervous?" Zara asked. "Very," Jake admitted. "I still can't believe this is happening." "You will do well. Just be yourself and solve problems the way you always do." At the council meeting, Jake was introduced to representatives from 50 different species. Many of them had problems they wanted human help with. Some had technical issues with their equipment. Others had social problems that needed creative solutions. The important thing to remember, Jake told a group of young alien engineers, is that there's usually more than one way to solve any problem. If your first idea doesn't work, try something else. If high-tech solutions fail, try low-tech ones. An alien engineer named Vex asked, "But how do you know which approach to try?" "You don't know until you try," Jake said. "That's why you have to be willing to make mistakes. Every mistake teaches you something about the problem. But mistakes are inefficient," Vex said. "Short-term, yes. But long-term mistakes help you learn and adapt. Species that never make mistakes stop learning new things." Jake spent months at the galactic capital, working with different species and learning about their challenges. He discovered that his human approach to problems was indeed valuable throughout the galaxy. He helped a trading species solve piracy problems by suggesting they use unpredictable routes instead of trying to outgun the pirates. He helped a manufacturing species improve their efficiency by showing them how to maintain their equipment instead of just replacing it when it broke. Most importantly, he started teaching other species how to think like humans. He showed them how to break complex problems into simple parts. He taught them to try multiple approaches instead of relying on single solutions. When Jake finally returned to Earth 6 months later, he brought with him the first group of alien students who wanted to learn human problem-solving methods. The program was so successful that soon there were human teachers working throughout the galaxy. Years later, Jake would look back on that night when Zara entered his room as the moment everything changed. What started as a simple cleaning job had become humanity's entry into the galactic community. But the most important change was how humans saw themselves. They learned that being primitive compared to other species wasn't a weakness. Their willingness to work with their hands, to try new approaches, and to never give up was exactly what the galaxy needed. Jake often told new human recruits, "We might not have the best technology or the most advanced science, but we have something that's just as valuable. We never stop trying to find solutions. And sometimes the best solution is the simplest one." The alliance between humans and the Galactic Council grew stronger every year. Humans became known throughout the galaxy as the species you called when you had an impossible problem. And it all started because one alien woman needed help cleaning biosynthetic material off her skin, and one human maintenance worker was willing to try soap and water.